Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Brian with some Home, a unique horror adventure by Benjamin Rivers. I found this indie game just scrolling through PlayStation Network store, and I was kind of intrigued by what I read, the description, and the short trailer I saw. I did play just a little bit, but not enough to really know what I'm supposed to be doing. So let's start over and play this adventure from the scratch. Once you start over progress, okay, yeah. Again, I didn't really make much progress. I just really went to the second screen just to kind of test this game out a little. Okay, saved automatically. It's an hour and a half, a single setting, yes. Turn up the sound and turn off the lights. Oh yeah. Like I said, it's 10 o'clock right now where I'm streaming Central Time. It's dark. In a dark room. I'm kind of scared right now. All I remember at that point was finding myself alone. Oh my head. Where was I? It was so dark. There was something by my feet. A flashlight? Okay. Yes, I can look up. That house. Where was I? There was a body lying on the floor. Who was it? I didn't recognize his face. He was still kind of warm. Oh shit, did he recently die? Fuck. Okay, same thing. Look, it's like kind of caught me off guard for a little bit. I'm gonna wait till I go downstairs. I'm not gonna go downstairs just yet. It's like a leaky roof. The desk had a computer and some papers on it, and a single drawer. I didn't want to snoop, but did I open the drawer? Yes, you did. Receipts, pens, and the blurry photo looks like looked like a sword of some kind. Why did this look so familiar? I really shouldn't have been going through this stuff, getting my fingerprints everywhere. Oh shit, yeah, you're kinda right. God damn it. Blood on the wall, it smelled fresh and sickening. I realized there was blood on my shoes and pants. Oh man, I had to get out of there. Well, fuck. Yeah, I probably fucked up there. I was like... I noticed that I limped as I started moving down the stairs. How did I hurt my leg? I wondered. All I could really recall was coming home, seeing Rachel. I was upset. She looked afraid. I shook my head and tried to clear it. I knew I should head downstairs, try to find a way out. What the hell is that? Is it a... The gray mouse was stuck in a trap. It looked frantic but exhausted. Did I free it? Yes. Hopefully that gives me some karma points. This feels like an old Resident Evil game, at least the way you move into different rooms. A collection of rusty tools. These look like they'd seen a lot of use and were caked in damp, smelling dirt. Why weren't they in a shed? They were the murder weapons. It's an odd place to keep yard tools. What would they have been used for in here? A picture. I found a picture of a couple. It looked like it'd been moved a lot. There seemed to be a switch behind it. If I push the switch, we might as well figure out this mystery. It depressed smoothly into the wall. I heard a faraway click somewhere. Huh. Something must have opened somewhere. What are the tools for that? That's kind of buried a body somewhere, probably. What's this? The shelf was full of books on local history and hunting. Seemed like the owner of the house really knew the area. There were scribbles on all kinds of random scraps of paper and notes about some kind of water tower. Did he mean the one by the old train yard? Okay, same thing. What's this? Holy hell. It's like, it is a little bit more frightening when you're playing this shit in the dark. A black and white photo looked like the man upstairs and his wife. I guess there was no reason for me to keep this. Do I take it? No, I figured this was no help to me, so I left it behind. An old dining table covered in dirty dishes for two people. There were dozens of beer cans and other liquor bottles among the dishes. The smell was turning my stomach. Huh. Interesting. Man, I thought I heard somebody else walking. Golly. It's getting me a little nervous. I looked like hell. My clothes were dirty and torn, and there was mud caked all over my shoes. Shit, so was I the one out there digging? The bathroom was incredibly clean. Every surface had been thoroughly wiped, and nothing seemed out of place. Ah, strange. There was a photo development tray lying on the floor. Leftover negatives were sticking out, but they were pretty blurry. I thought I saw what looked like treetops. Yeah, it's definitely capturing that old Resident Evil feel with the front door was blocked by a pile of furniture. I knew I had to find another way out. Okay. Jesus Christ. That was taped up and teeny snuck. By the smell, I'd guessed it led to the kitchen. The switch in the wall appeared to have locked this door. Ah. What the hell is that thing? The box looked heavy, but there were marks on the floor. It had obviously been moved before. Maybe I find a way out. I must have moved it, right? Yes. I heaved the box forward, and it finally gave. There was a ladder going on the ground. Where the box was, a dank smell rose. A dank smell rose from the passage. Did I climb down the ladder? Oh boy. Yes seems to be an answer that might lead me to death. So, but I don't really see anything else I could do. So I had to climb down the ladder. My leg hurt like hell as I climbed down the ladder. The tunnel below was even darker, and the smell wasn't getting any better. But I had to find a way. I had to get out of there and find my way home. Oh gosh. Footprints in the dirt look like more than one kind and need a lot of traffic. What the hell is that, a map? Places all over were marked on the old map of town. The industrial area near the river, various houses, and even the water tower near the old rail station. Newspaper clippings from a local paper. They were all about murders in town over the last few years. Wait. There were photos. Photos of our house. What the hell was that about? Maybe I should have looked around more, tried to find some kind of information. A work table, covered in paper, dirt, and a handgun. I hated guns. I didn't take it, did I? Huh. This is a tough decision. Because what I don't want to happen is to like run into cops and then they kill me. But I also don't want to meet the killer and be defenseless. Yeah. I would take it. I tucked the small handgun into my pocket. Its weight was somehow reassuring. Why did I take the gun? Because I said so. It was dark down there. The air smelled stale and putrid. I couldn't believe what I saw. What was this place? Oh gosh. Make me a little nervous. The desk looked old and was caked with grime. On it was a stack of old, faded paper, covered with what looked like names. They were scratched out and illegible notes were written beside them, faded blue ink. I could only make out a few letters. Hey. Oh, okay. Different type of names, I imagine. Ralphie. I'm not sure what the hell the first one is. None of it made any sense to me. There's a door there. What about this side? Some kind of homemade rack, sewn together with poorly cut wood and rope. It was caked with old blood. Somebody didn't actually use that, did they? Rusted hooks like the kind you'd find in a butcher hung from the ceiling. They looked pitted and worn from heavy use. Did that man upstairs, did he do this? Crudely made shelves. They looked like they were holding cans of some kind of corrosive. The labels were worn and slick, but I could still see the warnings. Another ladder down. What the hell is this? It looked like a cage? It was small, but there was something coating the bottom. Something wet. That place was getting worse all the time. I knew I had to keep moving. I want to investigate what's behind the door. I think my dog is barking at a cat right now. It's a skeleton? It looked to be bones, half dug into the ground, and the remains look old. Who put them here? I wondered, what would I have found if I had dug deeper? Some kind of old boxes. They looked like they were years old. Wait a minute. These boxes had old clothes in them. Clothes I remember throwing out after Rachel and I moved to town. What the hell are they doing here? I was scared before. I was terrified now. Why were there photos of our house there and these clothes? Was that why I was there? I checked my back pocket and I realized my wallet was missing. Did I come to that house or did somebody bring me? Well, this is really... Getting interesting. This is like birds or something. Oh, bats. I remember noticing the broken ladder. I had to be careful. What the heck is this? Oh goodness. I heard somebody talking. There was a rope hanging there. I wasn't sure how sturdy it was. Did I take it? Yeah, maybe the rope would make that broken ladder easier to descend. If I had the rope now, there must have been a use for it around somewhere. Yeah, use it with the broken ladder. The rope I found would have let me climb down the broken ladder safely. Did I climb down? Yes. I could hear a faint hum and the smell from before started to get worse. Holy hell, man. Looks like a spooky face on there. A bunch of old newspapers, we pasted together. A message had been hastily smeared on it. Keep out. Danger due to cave-in. Oh hell, that is scary sounding. Nervously, I opened the door. I could still feel a faint impression on the rope I had slid down as I pressed against the heavy metal door. Huh? Did you hurt yourself climbing down? It was probably for the best that I hadn't jumped. The ache in my leg was bad enough as it was. If I could have, though, I would have run straight out of those awful tunnels. Who would keep such a place? At least I had found an old handgun. It seemed to work, and from the smell of it, it had already been used. Used already. I kept the gun in my pocket. It seemed a familiar weight there. A vent. An exposed ventilation shaft. Maybe someone crawled through here, but it was so high up that it must have been a sore landing. There was dirt on the ground. It looked wet, and there was grass smeared within it. Through the door or through the ladder? I'm gonna go through the door first. I could hear a faint trickling sound, like water. What was that? The exit? Nah, that shit's way too good to be true. A kitchen knife covered in drying blood. Thinking about it made me sick. I didn't even want to touch it. Did I take the knife? Nah, I don't see how I could. I still had the old handgun. I wasn't sure what good a knife would have been. Another door. Let me go through here. God damn, that was loud. Holy shit. Let me go through this one first. Door was locked. There was a musty smell from inside. God damn. This game is definitely nerve-wracking. I wasn't sure what those valves were for. Did I turn it anyways? No, I left the valve alone. Yeah. I really don't want to go touching stuff. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I wasn't sure, but I thought it was some kind of regulator. I had no idea how it worked. Three and four. Huh. I don't know. Let me go see what that exit does. Or the ladder. Let me check out the exit first. There was a rusty ladder sunk into the water, which smelled disgusting. I knew that I couldn't climb down that. Maybe I could find a way to drain the putrid water. Okay, so that's what the valves would be for. And what's the ladder then? Disgusting. It was a melted, filthy garbage bags. There was rips and tears in most of the bags. It looked like an old videotape was sticking out. Did I take the tape? Yeah, it could be evidence. I wasn't sure what I hoped to discover with the tape, but I took it anyways. Might be a good idea. Evidence of something. Alright, so I gotta figure out what the valves do. So I guess I'll start with number one. I thought I could turn this water valve to shut off the flow. Did I turn it? Yeah. Through the dust I could see handprints from previous use, probably from whoever worked in those sewers. So I'm gonna try messing with all the valves. See, that doesn't work. Huh. It's a different sound made. Let's see if that did anything. No. Huh. It'll be an interesting puzzle. Oh, okay, it's not. Wrong one, this one. Looks like I turned off the water flow from this valve. Oh, okay. Okay. So I guess I gotta go back and check them all. Oh, okay. Whoops. Did I turn it again? Yes. Looks like I turned off the water flow. Okay, so I guess once it makes that clanking noise, it's fully off. Okay. Oops, wrong way. Okay, I'll turn it again. The valve was still active. Yes, one more time. Let's double check this one. Okay, so I turned it off. So it should all be good. Maybe do I hit the regulator? Let me go check that real quick. See handprints, same thing. Okay, no. So it must be good now. Yep. Looks like the water drained out of that grate in the wall. There was a small metal key left floating in the shallow pool of rancid water. Did I take it? Yes. I pocketed the small key, but it was so odd-shaped that I had no idea what it might open. What's this? The safety poster had definitely seen better days. How old was that facility? Let's go to the door first. Or not. I could see a faint light within. Very spooky game so far. At least the atmosphere is getting me, a little more tense. Security camera? There was a security camera in the room. There must have been a way to see what had happened. Maybe the VHS tape I found could be useful. Another body. I found another dead body. A sewer worker. He was a mess, but he looked like he'd been stabbed. I could see a keyring that had fallen out of his pocket. Did I take it? Yeah, it might be helpful. I worked up the nerve to snatch the keyring away and put it in my own pocket. There was a hint of fresh air. Must have been near an exit, but I wondered, what did that key I found on the sewer worker do, and what was on the videotape I found? This must have been the other end of that ventilation shaft. Whoever used it could have gotten past that flooded room with this. Oh shit. I think we're about to meet the killer soon. I felt the weight of the gun as I limped up the ladder. Why had I really taken that weapon? For protection? Or for some other reason? I wondered what was on the VH tape I found. We're in that locked room. Should I have gone back to check? My shoulder found the top of the passage, and fumbling around, I felt a heavy latch. I popped it, and as I lifted the heavy lid above my head, breathed deeply, the disgusting aroma of the sewer gave way to the dank scent of pine trees. Oh shit. See that shit in the background. What the fuck is this? The lid had fallen and was entrance there, and was stuck shut. So I guess there's no way of me going back. Damn, so that key that I found, god dang it. Okay, so the key that I found, I guess went to that one of those locked doors. Oh man, now I feel bad that I'll have to go through this game again to get like a different ending. Room there, okay, let me. Okay, I don't know if I want to go up to there. All those little eyes, man. That was scary. I tried the little key I had fished out of the murky puddle in the sewers. It fit, and and I heaved open the rusty door. The wind was picking up a bit. The night air had become strangely chilly. This. The old train station was quiet as a tomb. The only sound was that of the increasing wind buffeting the decrepit structure. Man, what kind of town do you live in, buddy? It's like... a map. An old map encased in glass, hung on the wall. It was the train routes connected to the old station. As I looked at it, it seemed familiar. Of course, the map I found in those tunnels had similar locations marked. And the notes I found on the other man's bookshelf. His notes mentioned the water tower, and even this train yard. What was he doing? Coming back here? Leads outside. Heck. The old train was ripped open and hanging from a shred of metal, as well as the broken fence, was a dark stained patch of cloth. It looked synthetic, like some kind of outerwear. Inside the train shell, I could see a few faint impacts, like wounds. Could they have been bullet marks? Was somebody shot there? The ground was well worn, though I couldn't really make anything out. I realized I was touching the gun I had found, as I thought. Yeah, that's a good idea, man. It'll be... got a killer out here. You don't want to be defenseless. The ancient ticket booth was falling apart, covered in dust and grime. Stacks of paper lined the counter, faded remains of old schedules and reports. Among the papers were newer-looking sheets covered in scribbles and illegible notes. Come to think of it, that man in the house had kept similar scribbles and hidden on his bookshelf, and he had notes on the water tower outside too. I guess he could have been coming here. But why? What was he using this old station for? Interesting. Interesting. I don't think there's anything else I can do here. I can go back and climb up the stairs, I think. Oh, I didn't have to go this way. Well, there's nothing that way. So what's this way? This must have been the entrance to the forest that was mentioned on the map I had seen. Whoever was poking around in those tunnels underneath that man's house had scribbled notes on this place, but I couldn't make them out. Here the sign pointed out various campsites and walking paths within the woods. It mentioned a river and maybe a washroom, but the rest was too faded to see clearly. Oh hell. I want to climb up that little ladder first. Might be able to get like a better vantage or something. An old ladder leading up to the ancient water tower. The ladder needed to be extended so I could climb it. Did I extend the ladder? Yep. I popped the latch and brought the ladder down. Oh, more bats, huh? Well, Mark. In a patch of smeared dirt and grass, there was a beat-up old wallet. I thought it was mine. Did I take it? Sure. The wallet was missing contents. It was missing its contents, including any cards or ID. It was worn but light. It made carrying a gun around seem more awkward. Where were my driver's license and credit card? From the railing I could see over the woods and down to the entrance to the sewers. Had I come through there before? If I did, someone definitely could have seen me. Yeah, so this guy don't have pockets? He's throwing the gun and the wallet in the same place? That don't make no sense. Okay, so let's... Oh hell. Down this dark path. This trampled into dirt was a plastic card of some kind. I brushed it off and was surprised to see it was my credit card. I wasn't sure if it was still usable, but it was mine. Did I take back my credit card? Sure, why the hell did you keep it out here? I pocketed the credit card. Hopefully I could find my driver's license too. Through the fence I could see a dilapidated outbuilding. I wondered if I could find my way around. Oh, well, I can't go through there here. Something else is in this forest with me. There was a fire pit there, and it was still a bit warm, and a few embers still burned at the bottom. What's this? 2 folding camping chairs were on the ground. One was knocked over. There were a couple of cans of beer spilled on the ground. And a tent. The cheap dome tent slept 2 people. I shone my flashlight inside and could see some bedrolls, 2 backpacks, and a cooler. Oh hell, which one did I come from? Oh hell. I'm probably gonna... What's that? There was some personal effects shoved back into the rock. Wait, there was a notebook there too. Did I read it? Of course. Of course. Inside the cheap dollar store notebook was page after worn page of names and lists. None of it made much sense. The newest page contained several names. Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose, and Rachel. Those actually match up to the names or the scribbles of the other guy. Rachel, her name was last on the list, and it had been marked beside it in blue ink. The names Daphne and Olivia had been crossed out in the same blue ink. Cheryl, Heather, and Rose had also been crossed out, but these marks looked older and more faded. Shit, which one did I come from? Damn. No, 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 no. Doesn't look or don't look. No, no. Yeah. I'm gonna look anyways. The grimy sink had a small patch in it that looked almost clean. What's that, a bedroll? Musty wooden plank propped up the stall door. It didn't really seem useful. Did I bother to take it? No, I don't see why you would. I didn't see the point in carrying that hunk of wood around. What's this? The sign was the same as the first one I'd seen. This must have been the exit to the other side of the woods. I had finally found the exit. Once I left, I knew I'd never wanted to return there. Shit, should I go back and try to look for my ID? It actually might be. I actually do want to go back and look. I don't want to leave that up to chance. Okay, that was there. So I must have come from this one. Yeah, okay. Okay, I think I kind of know my way around now. So I didn't go through this area. I could find... Okay, what's this? A worn picnic table stood within a circle of trees like an altar. It was covered in faint markings and carvings from who I assumed were previous campers and hikers. What's this? The path ended in a cold-looking river. I wasn't too sure if it was safe to cross like this. Did I cross it? No. In that darkness, it didn't seem wise to try. Maybe there was another option. Aha, the plank of wood. I'm glad I came back. It's this way. Oh shit, no, it was in there. Damn it. There was a damp, smelly plank leaning against the stall door. I might have been able to cross the river with it. Did I take it? Yes, I did. I managed to carry the plank under my arm, so it didn't get in the way. Damn, that must be some like magic wood right there. It's invisible. Okay, so let's go back. Do this way. Nope, this way. Back here. Should be this one. Yep. Yeah, back here again. The plank I found was long enough to form a crud bridge, but wasn't sure if it would hold. Did I use it? Yes. More scary sounds. Two bodies. Two young women were half dug into a hastily shallow grave between the trees. The younger looking one was still face up, her dead eyes gleaming against my flashlight. They deserve better than that. Did I clean up the gravesite? I don't know, because if the police were to come... No, I don't want to, simply because of my rationale is that, you know, if the police come out looking for them, they can grab them instead of having to dig them out and all that. It's like, no. The thought of touching those poor girls almost made me sick. I left everything where it was. The police could sort it out. Exactly. It's a police matter. Yeah. Did I cross back over the bridge to the other shore? Yes. So I don't want to tamper with evidence or whatnot. Okay, so let me go back and exit the forest. Did I go to this third area? I want to double check just to be sure. Okay, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I'm still trying to wonder what this guy was like. Why was his wallet and his credit card in this forest? Is he the murderer? That's what I'm starting to think. The forest started to thin out a bit, and through the trees I could make out parts of the town beyond, and the first hints of light. Mysteries of what forest were behind me, but I could still feel them on my neck like a warm breath. Those girls I had found, someone had taken them from their campsite and had murdered them. Was it the same person who had left that odd notebook? I was even more eager to get somewhere safe and to find a way to reach Rachel. As I stepped through the gate, I suddenly recognized the auto parts factory where I had worked as a machinist for all those years. The plant had closed almost 3 years ago. Now, times are better then. I thought I could hear a faint rustling behind me. Maybe it was just the wind. Hell no, dog. Pull that fucking gat out. Shoot somebody. It's like, okay, big hole in the opening or through the door? We'll try the door first. Jesus. It's like, them noises, man. Getting to me. One of these lockers hung open. Its contents were tossed around like somebody had been looking for something. There's that fucking murderer. He's trying to get me. What's this? There was a large power box with 5 lights on it. Cables burst out of the box, snaking off to other parts of the factory. The metal was starting to wear, the cobwebs had collected on the corners. The box wasn't receiving power. The door was locked shut and there was a little electronic box under the handle. A sign was pasted to the front and said, "Danger, closed for repairs." Let's go through this door. Never mind. The door was locked tight. It seemed to be connected to the power box beside it. We have to get power first. Every part of this plant smelled old and rotted. I noticed the old bulletin board on the wall. What about it? The board contained yellow clippings and newspaper cartoons and notices. There were notes to and from the guys that worked here. One of them was Norman, who was one of the older guys on the line. Our old break table. Layers of dust and grime only made seeing this sting more. What happened to this place? The power panel looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? Yeah. Okay, the power panel still wasn't working. Did I try it again? Yeah. There we go. The open locker was stuffed with dirty work clothes and old boots. There was a photo of a woman taped to the inside, but it was scratched out and the face unrecognizable. Another power switch. Looked like it was shut off. Did I push the switch? This panel seemed to be working again. Okay, nice. It was shut tight. There was a rusty looking car slide on the side. Okay, so let's go upstairs. It's probably a big factory. Another boarded off place. Yeah, so I missed the taped up room in that first area. The door had been hastily boarded up. This was Norman's locker. The door was dented like someone had punched it. I don't remember him doing that when we worked there. There's a power switch. Another panel that I hoped could help me get the power back on. Did I push the switch? Great, this one was working. Okay. Just have to double check. The utility shelf crammed with mismatched tools and items. There was a claw hammer on the shelf. Did I take the hammer? Yeah, that's a pretty good tool, so I'll take one. As I took the hammer, I noticed it wasn't as dusty as the rest of the tools on the shelf. Oh, interesting. The locker was a complete mess. Hidden at the bottom, though, was a magnetic card. Did I take the card? Yes, I did. Slipped the key card into my pocket. Another panel that could help me get the power back on. Okay, one more time. There we go. 4 times. It was like 3 times, I should say. There we go. That should be all 5 of them. Okay, so let's go to the room with the key card in it. Let's see. More scary noises. I think it was here. Alright? The end of this room was the key card room. The key card I found seemed like it would pass through this reader. Did I use the key card? I slid the card through the old reader and turned the handle. There was some kind of ventilation hatch here. Looked like I could jump to the room below. My leg hurt enough as it was, but I couldn't see another option. Did I jump? No, I want to go. If I was too chicken to jump down that broken ladder before, why would I do it now? There had to be another way. Yeah, I think I already turned on the things. Oh my god. The door had somehow locked itself again. There was no key card. Shit, I fucked myself. Oh boy, looks like I'm jumping down. Shit. I guess they put that in there to trap people. God damn it. Oh man, my leg hurt like hell. The bottom of the ventilation hatch hung open. It was pretty high up. I wasn't sure if anyone could have gotten back up there. There was a crumpled up letter on the floor. It had been scratched out heavily and was hard to make out. Did I try to read the letter? Of course. Most of the letter was violently scratched out with what looked to be a ballpoint pen. All I could make out was need to. Just don't. Drinking. Need. Norman. Who was Norman writing to? shit. And I think all that shit in the other room I wasn't able to look at. Damn it. I looked around at the darkened trees and damp park packed dirt outside the factory walls. I wasn't entirely familiar with the path before me, but I knew it was a long walk home. For some reason I felt a hit of regret at leaving that place, but I knew I had to get home to Rachel. I thought I'd try to make it back to the main road and find my way from there. Yeah, man, I didn't realize that going through that room was going to cause me to kind of like have to leave that place. God, that sucks. I'm sure that's going to mess with the ending. Golly. It's like, see, I didn't even go through the wooden fence, or I mean, not the wooden fence, but the fence from before entering the building. Like, yeah, there was like so much that I missed. Fucking, why is this trash can highlighted? The garbage bin was a disgusting mess of rotten food and slick black bags. I saw a thin greenish corner poking from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. Did I take it back? Of course, I cleaned the card off as best I could. It looked pretty beat up. I was amazed that I found my credit card, and now this? I tucked the card into my wallet next to my credit card. Yeah, see, it's starting to make me seem like this guy is probably the killer. Your credit card would not just be in some random fucking woods and your driver's license in a trash bag. That shit don't make no damn sense. Hello there, whoever joined. I'm going through this horror adventure game. I'm not sure exactly how far into the game I've gotten. I'm sure I've got pretty close. I've done it quite a bit already. It sounded like it was going to start raining again. Let's see. Better get inside. I had entered Norman's place. This was back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet, except for the faint sound of a television. Let's see, let's explore a little bit. The entrance to the front of the store was locked from the inside. Looks like I couldn't just pop it open. It needed a key. There was a bit of blood on the keyhole. Interesting. More blood. You can hear that TV. Oh my god, another dead fucking guy. Oh no! I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my coworker, and one of the few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been shot trying to get up. His eyes were still wide with shock. Norman, you deserve better than this. Did I close his eyes? No, man, I've been, it's like, don't want to get no more evidence. I was too scared about Rachel to stay there another moment. Again, I don't want to be touching people and getting my fucking fingerprints all over stuff. The TV still flickered some indecipherable channel. Alright, let's see. I still gotta find that key to get out of here. Table. I guess this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there was water rings and 2 cups still there in the wood. 2 cups, you say? So whoever killed him was likely his friend. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through the mess, did I? I don't see why you would. Huh. Nah, we're gonna leave it alone for now. I was already filthy and exhausted. I didn't want to keep rooting around in garbage. Unless that's where he kept his key. Oh, what's this? An attic? What was this? It looked like a pull chain hanging from the ceiling. I wonder where it led. Did I pull the chain? Of course. I gave the chain a simple tug and a simple folding ladder to the attic popped down. Looks like just a regular attic. Oh, what's in here? There was a large cardboard box that hadn't been sealed. Did I open it? Well, might as well. Inside the old cardboard box were the pile of clothes, photos, and even shoes. As I looked closer, I realized they were Rachel's. What were you doing here, Rachel? Were you responsible for poor Norman downstairs? Well, shit. Well, I guess I should go through the fucking garbage can. There'll be something in there. The kitchen trash bag smells okay. I found a hairpin among the rotting food and trash and pocketed it. A hairpin? Oh, okay. I could use that to pick the lock, probably. Okay, let's see what else is around. I didn't search this side. I wasn't entirely surprised to find this there. It was one of Rachel's old fall coats. I always wondered what happened to it. How long had it been here? There. Inside the cabinet was the small, impressive collection of hunting rifles, shotguns, and even a few items I didn't think were illegal here. One of the slots on the rack was empty. Yes. I carefully pushed the piece back in place and felt a great burden lifted. I'm gonna frame this shit on him. I used the hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. What the heck? What's this? The register was empty, and a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its contents were half melted. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. It looked to be in much better shape then. Of all the postcards that seemed to be the most popular, there was only a few left. I can only think of poor Norman upstairs. I keep forgetting to double click on some of these items because he always says something different. Were you thinking of going somewhere with Rachel, Norman? Interesting. Seems like Norman might be... I don't know, I'm still thinking that this guy is probably the killer. It'd been weeks since I'd last seen Norman, and finding him that way still left me cold. Thinking of him slumped against the chair only cemented my reassurance in getting rid of that gun. It looked like someone had taken that piece from his store, but why was it in those tunnels? As I stepped outside, I recalled that dusty old box of clothes in Norman's attic. I felt like I had only discovered more questions, no answers, but I was close to home. It was time to find out the truth. What's in here? It was locked. This wasn't the right gate. Okay. I just gotta keep checking them. The gate was locked tight. This wasn't my house. There we go. This is it. Gate well, okay, not your house. Okay. What's this? The neighborhood's local post box. The letter was sticking out as if somebody hadn't pushed it all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter? Yeah. Interesting. Let's take a peek. The envelope was addressed to Norman. There was no return address, but the handwriting looked familiar. I took a deep breath and tore open the package. Norman, I'm sending this to you in a letter because I'm afraid to tell you this in person. What we did, well, it was wrong. My husband isn't an easy man to be with, but he is my husband and your friend. I need some time to sort this out away from you both. I'm going away for a while. I'm going to tell him. Norman, so don't you think you can hold that against me? Maybe we'll work it out. I'm not sure I want to, but he deserves at least that much. Goodbye. Damn, bro, you get... I didn't know what to think. My mind was racing, my heart pounding. I had to get home. I just had to. Man, you got fucking cheated on, boy. I was like, sucks. Fucking wake up in some random ass house. Blood. This is probably the right house. I entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside. God damn, such ambient music right now. I'm fucking terrified. The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked the light switch by the door. The power was off. Jesus Christ, man. Shit is loud. I remember having breakfast here on the very table. Was that yesterday? Or sometime before? The table was clean. It hadn't been used any time recently. Upstairs or through the door? That's probably a kitchen. Or not a kitchen, bathroom. What's this? There was a small pile of mail on the floor in front of the mail slot. How long had it been away? Why hadn't Rachel picked this up? Most of the contents were bills. There was a credit card bill there. Did I open it? Yeah. I ripped the bill open and read it. To my surprise, it said something about canceling my credit card due to non-payment. What the hell? The front door was locked from the inside. I couldn't go out, though I needed to see if Rachel was here. Okay, I figured. The door to the basement was locked. Where I had put the damn key. Oh man, this shit is getting tense. The door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle. I had found the last missing piece from my wallet. The old photo of Rachel and I stared back at me. Reminds me of better times. It didn't make me feel comfortable. Feel terribly comfortable. Did I keep it anyways? Oh man, I don't know. She did cheat on me, so now fuck that. There was no reason to hold on to old memories. I had my license and credit card back. That was enough. Our television. I had purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it afterwards, but by then it was too late. Rachel was pretty angry about that, I realized. Oh man. I'm getting nervous finding out what's at the end of this road. Oh, broken glass. Broken window. Mirror, I mean. Oh shit, whoops. I didn't mean to do that. A hallway mirror had been smashed and its pieces scattered around the floor. Our sink, which needed to be replaced. One of the taps always stuck, but I hadn't got around to fixing it yet. We were lucky enough to get a house with one of those wonderful old claw-footed bathtubs. It seemed impractical at times, but it was part of what made that house home. That old house was charming for sure, but it all wasn't always easy. Where is this Rachel at? My laptop had been left on. Only had a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top of the drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yes, I pocketed the key. The laptop was warm. It had been running for a while. Okay, let's go downstairs. Do I go downstairs or do I want to check up here? God damn, I don't know, man. This game kind of trapped me in the last area. I kind of was forced to complete it early without looking through everything. So I want to go through the key first. Was it this room? An old-fashioned key underneath the handle. Okay, I don't know. No, was this locked? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Okay. Okay, so let's finish exploring the upstairs. Oh, Rachel, where are you? The books there were half mine, half Rachel's. Hey now, that I looked more closely, it looked like the man in that house had some of the same books as I did. One book in particular seemed a bit odd. I remember owning it, but not that edition. My wife's, Rachel's suitcase was sitting on the bed. It was closed, but I had a feeling what was inside it. Did I open it? Yes. Rachel's suitcase contained clothes, toiletries, and a train ticket. Is this what you were going to do with Norman? Rachel, why? Were you really going to run away with Norman? Was I really such a monster? Okay, same thing over again. Okay, nope, I still don't have the key. What the hell? The front door was locked from the inside. I couldn't go out though. I need to see if it's okay. Same thing. Oh, okay, that's what the key's for, the basement. I unlocked the basement door. There was old Christmas decorations in the box. I couldn't even remember our last Christmas. That's a shame. The garbage bags were stuffed with old paints, cans, and supplies. There was a dirty old key here. Did I take the key? Yeah, I took the small key and tried to remember what it unlocked. It probably goes to the door upstairs. There was old clothes, tools, and other things we obviously hadn't thrown out yet. We had way too much junk. Okay, same thing. Oh, what's this? I had put up this divider wall last summer so we could create a separate room in the basement. I hadn't finished it yet, so the door was stuck and the drywall was poorly installed. I might have been able to break through if I'd found something heavy enough. Oh man, so I was probably supposed to... didn't I have a hammer? Yeah, I brought a hammer with me. Oh man. Okay. The grimy key I had found in the basement unlocked the door. It looked like the room had been tossed around. The furniture was a mess. Did somebody break in here? Oh, things are getting tense. There was an old crowbar on the floor. Did I take the crowbar? Yes. I lifted a heavy crowbar, and I appreciate its weight. So let's go break down that piece of drywall. Did I break through the wall with the crowbar? Yes. With a heave, I swung the crowbar at the wall. I smashed a hole large enough to step through. As I stepped through the broken wall, my breath caught my throat. This was it. Was Rachel down here? Was she okay? Don't look. Oh hell, I'm getting fucking scared, man. It's like... I'm getting nervous. Oh shit, blood. Don't look. A filthy looking pile of rags had been dumped in the corner. The stench of them was awful and made my eyes water. I was terrified to even touch the pile to see what lay within. But I knew I had to. I had come this far. After all this searching, after all I'd seen, when I looked within the rags, did I finally find my Rachel? I believe so. It was worse than I could have possibly imagined. Within the folds of that rotting, smelly, heavy fabric was the pale, dead figure of my darling wife. What struck me most was that she wasn't bloody or torn apart. Rather, she was covered in sticky green bruises, and her windpipe had been crushed. The real horror there was that whoever had killed her had done so intimately with bare hands. So this is what had been gnawing in the back of my mind this whole time. This is what I was afraid of. I thought about all I had seen and wondered if any of it could help me figure out who had done this. And when I couldn't stay there any longer, I stepped away on shaky legs and made my way back upstairs. Reluctantly exhausted from my journey, I could no longer resist the urge to close my eyes. Maybe I would have used some of Rachel's travel books and find some place to go. No matter what, I needed some kind of escape. So this motherfucker was the killer all along. I knew it. It was my wallet with its contents intact. Either I dropped that stuff or somebody else did. Maybe I was sleepwalking again. Or maybe somebody stole it from me. Norman's store, that forest, the water tower. Was I at those places before? I believe so. I didn't see how it could have happened any other way. I must have been the one to lose my wallet and its contents. But what does that mean? The only thing that makes sense, in my mind at least. Within the few broken pieces that remained of that mirror, I could see my face had grown pale and weak. I couldn't bear to look again. It was like I didn't actually expect a reflection. I felt empty and drained. The reflection in that grimy glass was only a shadow, a whisper. The quiet in that room unnerved me terribly. I still loved that old-time charm of that claw-footed bathtub, though it seemed like cold comfort then. Rachel loved this part of the house. It was the letter I had taken from the postbox. Rachel, were you really having an affair with Norman? But why? I didn't think things were that bad. In the letter, Rachel seemed concerned. She almost seemed worried of what Norman might do. Did he do that to Rachel? No, it don't make sense, because he had all those guns. Maybe. Holy fuck, I really don't know now. God damn. Holy shit. This is... I don't think he did. Because the way the letter sound... The way the letter read... Just made it seem like... The character I'm playing was like the abusive husband. So I don't think Norman would have been the one to do that. In my mind. Norman may have betrayed me. But I didn't think he was capable of that. I hated him. I hated him so much. But I couldn't blame him for what happened to my wife. I didn't know what to think. I just wanted to put this whole mess behind me. What's this? I still had no idea what was on that tape I found in the garbage. If only I had found a way to watch it. Fuck, I forgot to do that. God damn. From now on, I have no one to get angry with for stupid things like buying this TV. Just thinking about things like that made me sick with grief. The old VCR had long since broken down, and I never bothered to replace it. Damn it! Oh my gosh. I forgot about that. I forgot it. It's like you picked that up like so early in the game. It's just I just forgot about that shit. God damn. A safe. My old office safe sat on the floor. I used to keep tax records and other important documents in it. I used the digital passcode lock, but I didn't have the code. Maybe I left it somewhere. I leafed through the notebook I had taken from the forest. In it were the names that had been written down: Heather, Olivia, Ashley, Cheryl, Iris, Daphne, Holly, Rose, Rachel. Those poor girls. Were they victims of the same person who had killed Rachel? I'd wondered what happened to the other names on that list, or the ones scratched out on that desk in those wet tunnels. Oh man, this is turned into something else. The mail still sat on the floor, heaped on the mail still sat there, heaped on the floor. How long had Rachel been lying in the basement? I couldn't leave, not until I thought about this some more. I needed answers. Can I go back in this room? There would be no more dinners here. No more chit-chat over breakfast. At least not for us. I couldn't recall when I'd last ate, but I wasn't hungry in the least. I must have locked the door. There was no reason to return to the backyard anyways. I couldn't go back down, not until I'd gone over everything. I needed to make sure I was perfectly clear. Okay, so there's still stuff for me to look over. Okay. I didn't know what to think. I just wanted to put this whole mess behind me. So did I miss something? Fuck, I honestly can't believe I didn't fucking watch the video. God damn, God, that's annoying that I didn't do that. If I could find the code for the safe, maybe I can open it. If I could find the code for the safe, maybe I could still open it. Well, where is it though? The man in that house, was he responsible? When I woke up, I found him dead already. I don't know. This is a pretty weird mystery. I might have missed something. Okay, is this? There. That was decided. Okay. No matter what, I needed some kind of escape. I'm missing something. Maybe in this room? Mirror again? Perhaps I would never know how that mirror came to be broken. Was it by Rachel's assailant, or by Rachel herself? The thought lingered and would haunt me forever. Okay. It was the key card I found in the factory, one that allowed me to slip through the door. It seemed to me that it was probably Norman's. But if that was true, what was he doing back at the plant? Did I think Norman was going back to the factory? Huh. Wow. God, yeah, that's the thing is like I didn't really get a chance to explore all the factories, so I have no idea what the hell was going on there. Huh. Maybe he was going back there? No. So why would he punch? Because why would he punch the locker, his own locker? He would have the combination of the key to get into his own locker. So I don't think he was going back to the factory. I think somebody else was trying to open Norman's locker. So no, I don't think. Someone was going through those lockers, sure, but I didn't think it was Norman. They don't make sense. It's like, why would you try to break into your own locker? You would have access to it. A lock or key or key code or whatever. The laptop was dead, but I found some notes and loose papers in the drawer where I had found the key. There was a yellow sticky note with an 8-digit code on it. Something. Did I take it? Yes. The code looked like it might be for the safe. But what kind of phrase was that? There wasn't anything more to be found in the desk. I go through here yet? I don't know. Oh, the bathroom, yeah. Okay, I already went through here. Let's go open the safe. Find out what's inside. The code I found should have let me access to the safe. Did I try to open it? The code worked. I pulled open the small safe door and peered inside. There was a photo in there of Rachel and I when we first moved to town. In it, we were smiling outside the front of the house, which looked like a real mess. We looked happy, though odd, I couldn't remember who took that photo. Inside the safe was also an envelope. The front of it read, "Do not open until I tell you." I guess this was a good as time as any to see what was inside. Did I open the envelope and read what was inside? Yes. I tore open the envelope and removed the yellow lined paper inside. On it was a letter written in a hand that looked familiar. The letter read, "I know this whole event has probably been pretty difficult. You can't imagine how hard it's been for me. Well, maybe you can. That isn't meant to be an excuse, but, well, I hoped you can better understand why I've done what I've done. Moving to this town seemed like such a dream. A quiet place to get established, to live out our lives, and to be together. But you know as well as I do that things quickly changed. Your drinking was one thing, but as you grew more distant, as you retreated into that world of yours, well, it was clear you didn't need me as much. In fact, maybe you never needed me at all. But it took all this to make you realize, in the end, though you may never forgive me for this, you may never forgive yourself, but this is probably for the best. You'll be healthier for this. I'm just sorry it had to be this way. Had to happen this way, Rachel." Right, let me double check. Silence. Alright, I think I'm ready to go downstairs again. It seemed like I had seen all there was. Maybe I thought I was ready to go back into the basement. Maybe there wouldn't be anything for me to find, but I had to take it a last look. Now that I stood there, I realized I couldn't go back into that room again. I had already seen too much. I needed to put an end to this situation one way or another. Does that mean we leave? I'm not sure. There was nothing for me here anymore. No reason to stay in that house. Did I leave, never to return? I felt like I had to think about it a bit more. So what are my other options? Something in here? I guess there's nothing to do but to leave. I'm not sure what else I can do. Nope. Gross. I guess I'll leave. Living in this town hadn't been easy. The plant had helped in some way to stay grounded. It kept me in line, gave me something to do, and helped me get away from my past. When the factory closed, everything changed. I guess that was when I had started sleepwalking, disappearing for hours at a time. I had MRIs and piles of doctor's reports, but nothing seemed to help, not even drinking. But I swear, I had tried to give it up. I know it. The sleepwalking never really went away, though. But I know Rachel had tried. I know she had tried to be there for me, even when everything was falling apart. This night had unearthed terrible truths, but I knew it was a final act of a long-standing horror I'd been living. Waking up in that house tonight was the final cruelty. I wish I had remained unconscious in that room forever. Even the man I had found in that old place was a mystery. Why was he dead? Who had done it to him? It was not something I could even begin to understand. Or why, for that matter, I was in that damn room in the first place. Now that I thought of it, those sewers were a terrible mystery. What had happened there? I was lucky in my way to even find my way out of there. But I never did find out what was on that tape that I now kept. What might it have shown me? I had found the contents of my wallet scattered throughout town. Why the hell had I been out there? Had my sleepwalking gone to some new extreme? The thought that I couldn't account for my whereabouts, but knew I had been to the forest and even Norma's place, well, it was terrifying. I didn't know what that meant, but at least I had recovered my things. Hopefully, I thought, that would cover my tracks so I wouldn't be blamed for all this. Even more troubling were those poor girls I'd found in those terrible woods. Half hidden in a shallow grave, their secret death seemed like the ultimate defiling. If I hadn't found them, would anyone have done so? Would they have even been missed? I vaguely recalled the desk I had seen in those tunnels. The names etched there. Someone had killed those girls. Was it that man? One thing I could be sure of, despite my confusion, I knew Norman hadn't been the one who was going back to our old factory. He couldn't have been responsible for that dead guard. Then I could take some solace in that. After the factory, I thought I might find some solace if I could just get to Norman's store. But after all I'd found were more horrors and more questions. Now that I really consider it, that's when I should have seen it coming. Norman, what were you and Rachel up to? It was obvious things were more complicated than I ever imagined. How long had you been going behind my back? More importantly, why, Norman? Whoever had killed Rachel probably gone after you too. Maybe they knew about what you were up to. I would never know peace, Norman. But despite your transgressions, a part of me really did hope that you would. When I had marched through the rain towards home, I desperately clung to the hope that this would end. And I guess in a way it did. How could I have known how hopeless it all was? I had started to feel disoriented, as when I sleepwalked. To think of it now, our house used to feel so lively, so warm. But coming into the kitchen, I felt only a cold, empty tension. Every terrible thought I had up to that point was suddenly a possibility, but nothing could have prepared me. My wife, dead, ruined, discarded. Rachel's death was a terrible mystery to me, one that would haunt me forever unless I did something about it. For what solace can a man take in the death of his wife? What comfort can be offered? Rachel had been taken from me, and I might never know why. As I swung open the door and stepped outside into the air, I caught the scent of wet grass and fog. Rachel, my beautiful wife, just the thought of her again, cold and inert, shook me from head to toe. What would I do now? Who could I turn to? It would only be a matter of time before the police got involved, before the neighbors knew. The front lawn was soft, giving beneath my feet. I couldn't shake the urge that I shouldn't stand there, but rather that I should run. Oh man, that's a very interesting story. Like to the viewer watching, it's like you came about, I guess, at the halfway point around there. It's like it started off with him in some like random guy's house where he wakes up like next to a dead guy and stuff like that. And he finds his way back to the tunnel. He finds his way to a tunnel, then he ends up going towards the factory. No, he ends up in the tunnel, he ends up in the woods, and then he goes to the factory. into Norman's house and then or the store and then back to his home. It's a pretty interesting game. There definitely seems like there's so much more that I missed. You know, like the VHS tape that I didn't get to watch. There's so many more interactions. Like, I definitely see myself playing this game again and trying out different choices. Seeing if I can like puzzle this story a bit better. Because like when I was in the factory, I ended up making a choice that kind of like forced me out of there before I could really like do some digging. And so I had like no idea of like a huge chunk of the story. Like I missed so much of the area that I kind of like unintentionally rushed through it. But yeah, this game is pretty fun. I mean, it's again more story based, you know, walking simulator kind of deal, but I kind of love it because you have to kind of like piece together the clues. I mean, that's still what my theory is at the moment, based on the evidence that I found in this playthrough. Maybe in another playthrough I'll find some other stuff in which might change my mind. However, you know, the reading the letter, you know, it did seem like, you know, even the guy admitted that he had a drinking problem and all that. So it's one where I feel that I think that the guy, the main character I'm playing, is the one who killed his wife because she was cheating on him. However, it doesn't really explain like all the other dead bodies though. So it's like, as much as I like that story, it doesn't necessarily complete the whole puzzle. Because otherwise that guy would have to... So I could see him killing his wife and his friend Norman. But there was like a ton of other people who were dead too. So it kind of doesn't make sense. I mean, unless that guy's like a super serial killer or some shit. Which, I mean, it could be possible, but you probably have to really dig through the story and like make sure you find everything. Because even in like his credit card and his driver's license, when I found those, they were in like in his wallet too. They were in such weird spots. Like his credit card was somewhere in the forest, and his driver's license was in some garbage bag behind Norman's store, and his wallet was on top of the water tower, which I don't know, that doesn't seem like you'd lose that kind of shit in those places. Like, unless you were intentionally trying to hide those things. So it doesn't make sense. So unless that guy was a serial killer, but like I said, I don't really have much proof, but I said I'd have to play through this game again and really try to another playthrough of this game. Not right now though. It's kind of a long game. You know, at least an hour and a half is what it took me. But I think I'm going to end this stream here, guys. Or person. And you have a good night. Till next time, y'all take care.